If you're looking to gain more mobility, flexibility, and suppleness into your golf swing, this is the video for you, because today I'm going to take you through 2 full routines for stretching, exercise specifically for golfers to gain more mobility and flexibility in your golf swing. Welcome back to the channel. This is the Macro Golf YouTube channel. I'm Joe, founder of Macro Golf, and today we're talking about mobility, flexibility, and gaining more suppleness and rhythm through your golf swing. So I've done plenty of videos on these in the past, and quite often I've done quite short form, kind of follow along routines for stretching. Today, I'm going to do 2 different routines, and they're going to be full follow-on routines. So they're going to be around 8 to 10 minutes long in each one. So you can perform these back to back if you want, or you can kind of save this video, come and do one, and then come back and do another one at another time. But essentially what we're looking at here is taking you through some motions, taking you through some movements that are going to allow you to gain more movement, gain more flexibility, and gain more mobility that is going to aid you in your golf swing. So we're going to be putting a big emphasis on rotation and a big emphasis on the key areas of the body that work in the golf swing. So you're not going to need any equipment to do any of these movements. That's quite key. You can do these from home, no equipment needed. And all you're going to need to do is just prop your phone or laptop up and follow me as I guide you through this full routine. So this is part of our daily flow routine for golfers, which is on the Macro Golf app. This is what the app looks like. You can head over there and you can see loads more routines just like this. So I'm going to take 2 of those from the app, bring them here for you guys, and show you them on this video here. So if you want to go check that out, I'll put a link below. You can go check out all the videos on the Macro Golf app. And what we also are offering at the moment as well, which I mentioned in this video, we are offering a free performance audit for any golfer that watches any of our videos. So below this video in the description, you'll see it says complete the Macro Golf performance audit. All you need to do, head over there, answer a few questions. We will then get a gauge from these questions on areas of your performance, and then we'll send you a full report, and you'll receive that full report immediately after you do those questions on your golf game. So you'll know exactly where you need to work on, whether that's going to be skill, practice, technique, fitness, mental game, whatever it is. We'll understand from those questions, and then we'll give you a personalized report on how to improve them. And that is all free, and it takes around 3 to 4 minutes to complete. So that is all below. Enough of all that stuff. Let's get on to the first routine. Again, you're not going to need any equipment. We're going to take 8 to 10 minutes. I'm going to start with that first routine. I'll put a break in the second, and then we'll move on to the second routine, and I'll meet you guys back here to debrief. Team, welcome back. I'm going to work through a daily flow routine for you, primarily working on the hips. We're going to look at open up these hips and getting a little bit more rotation from these hips. So as always with this session, you're not going to need any equipment at all, just somewhere comfortable to lay or sit down. I'm just going to work away from our back, all the way up into a half kneeling position, all the way finishing up in a standing position, ready for you to go and attack the day, practice, round, or whatever it is you've got planned for the rest of the day. So let's come down to the back to start. And just bring the feet up and just place the hands on the stomach. And all I'm going to get you to do to start off with is just take a few breaths here. So we're just going to take hands onto the stomach, take a full deep breath in, and a full deep breath out. Just keep with that breathing, nice full inhales and exhales. We're not going to spend too much time here today because we've got quite a lot to be done on the kneeling position. So all we're going to do just while we're taking those breaths, we're just going to let the knees drop from left to right. So just knees dropping gently from left to right. No need to push this. We just want to kind of get a little bit of movement, get a bit of an understanding of how these are moving today, a little bit of self-evaluation, and just kind of prepare this body to let it know that we're coming for it. Lots of hip work being done today, so we're hopefully going to walk away with your hips feeling a lot better. So just dropping from left to right, just to get these warmed. A little bit of self-massage into the glutes as well, a little bit of movement from the lower back. And then when you feel ready, we're just going to roll ourselves all the way up into a half-seated position. And then from our half-seated position, we're just going to turn and get a full turn around and back. Again, we're just preparing this body that we're going to be coming for it now. Take a full deep breath in, full deep breath out, back round the other way, rotate, open, full deep breath in, full deep breath out, and then spring yourself around onto all fours, and then finally up into a half kneeling position. Now, we sped through that quite a lot. Normally spend a lot more time down, normally spend a lot more time working here, but we've got a lot of work to be done in this position. So I wanted to get you there quickly so that we don't run over our 10 minutes today. So I've got one leg forward, one leg back. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna place one hand down on the ground. So I've got left leg forward, right leg back, right hand down. And all I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna keep walking this leg back until I get a really nice stretch coming to the top of this left glute or top of this left hip and into the front of my right hip. And
I should still be able to squeeze my glutes and give a big contraction, but all I'm going to do here is I'm just going to start to noodle around, touching forward into these end range positions and touching out. So I'm just kind of moving around into all of these corners. So I've obviously got corners that work forwards, I can work to the side, I can work back, I can work to the other side. But the key here is I'm not going to stop moving. I'm just going to keep moving around, keep touching into all these positions. I should have access to move almost from like a center point all the way out, forwards and in all directions. So I'm just touching forward, touching back. Going to spend quite a lot of time here today. It's not one of our normal sessions. A little bit more active, but sometimes we just need to spend a little bit more time opening up these hips. So watch what we're going to do now. We're going to keep the feet in the same position. I've got my left leg forward and I'm going to walk my body round to the right. So I've basically tried to turn my chest and my belly button away from this left knee. I'm going to place both hands back down on the floor now, and I'm now just going to keep moving. So I'm still fidgeting, still noodling around in this position, just touching forward, touching back, keeping some movement here, dropping forward, dropping back, still moving. Really trying to work up some time in this deep lunge position. Just getting a little bit of rotation done here as well. Again, keep turning away from that leg. And then watch what we're going to do now. Now we're going to spin the other way. And actually now we're going to hug this leg. So I'm going to grab this left leg and I'm going to pull my body around the other way. I'm pulling my body around to the left. And again, I'm just going to start to work on touching into all of these end positions. So really deep stretch coming up into the top of this left glute. Really big stretch going to the front of this right thigh. And I'm just touching into all of these end range positions. And I'm still being active all the way through. I'm not just pulling on these muscles and hoping they make change. I'm actually trying to teach them to move into all these positions and trying to identify all of these areas that I have access to. Just give me a few more minutes here. A few more seconds here. Don't worry, we're not going to spend a few more minutes in this one. We're going to do the other leg. Cool. Let's take this leg back. Bring the other leg forward. And again, we're going to start the same process. So we're just dropping this leg down. And remember how we started? We just started with this leg up, hands in a neutral position, just touching into this end range. I'm really not a big fan of just spending a lot of time in one deep stretch and yanking on something and hoping it moves. You'll see with these flow movements, we always try and keep moving from one to the other, or we keep a little bit of breath work at least. So we're still trying to breathe and help release and mobilize. And then you'll see in my mobility videos when we start using tools and other things, again, we're always about trying to move or mobilize rather than just trying to stretch. Although it looks like a stretch, we're definitely being active all the way through as we go here. You'll notice I haven't stopped moving the whole time. We're now going to rotate around to the left. So we turn this chest, turn this belly button, turn the chest away from that right leg, moving that right leg around, noodling around here. Really good for our rotation. Get some spinal rotations here, but really just trying to open up these hips and get these hips to free up. You guys are doing great. Just keep an eye on your breathing. Remember our breathing from the first few minutes. We were just trying to get some constant breath, so keep that up. And then turn and face this right leg now. So now I've turned, I'm giving this right leg a big hug. Trying to rotate round. Give this leg a big hug as I move in here. Great work. Well done for keeping up with me. Well done for sticking with me. A little bit of last bit here. Good work. Let's take that leg back. Let's spin back round. And we're going to drop into a deep squat position. So it's going to feel quite strange now. But I just want you to feel like you've got a little bit more space in these hips than you normally would. So just rolling from heel to toe, dropping down in this low position. Feel like you can open these knees up a little bit. And then all we're going to do from here is with the hands on the ground, we're going to push both feet into the floor and lift ourselves up. And then just drop back down. We lift ourselves up and back down. Really trying to just get a nice stretch in these hips and then up here into the hamstrings. And back down. A few more for me. Drive the feet in and back down. Last two. Drive the feet. Back down. And last one. Up and down. Good. Now drive the feet into the ground. Leave the back rolled over. And we're going to slowly roll ourselves all the way up into a standing position. Roll the shoulders all the way back, round and together. Take a full deep breath in. Full deep breath out, and just like that, guys, you've flown through this daily flow routine. Fantastic work. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Team, what's going on? Back with another daily flow for you guys, another 10-minute kind of morning routine. Could be an afternoon session, could be an evening session, depending on what you need from this. If you need a little wake up, if you need a little refresh, or if you need a wind down before going to bed. As always with these sessions, I'm not going to need any equipment apart from somewhere comfortable to lay or sit down. We're going to work our way from the floor all the way up into a standing position. The only thing that might be a little bit different today is if you have got something to make it a little bit more comfortable to kneel on, go and grab that. So whether that's a pad, whether that's a cushion, just something comfortable, because we're going to do something in a kneeling position that might be a little more comfortable with the pad. Okay, so let's start down on our back. Put your pads to the side for now. And the first thing we're going to do is just work a little bit on our breathing. So with yourself nicely grounded down to the floor, lower back grounded, all of the back grounded, shoulders all the way down and open. Hands can just be placed on the stomach. And we're just going to take a full deep breath in, just breathing from the nose. All the way out, just trying to be nice and full with our breath. This is setting the tone for this session. So it's setting the tone that this is how we want ourselves to breathe. And it's also just notifying our body that we're doing something a little bit different now. We've moved away from the desk. We've moved away from our bed, and we're going to start the day. We're setting our body up that something is happening now. We want to just make ourselves present to what it is we're just about to do. So we're going to be spending 10 minutes working on breathing, working on moving, working on activating, and just letting our body know that this is what it needs to pay its attention to for this little period. So just as you're breathing, carry on with that and just start to let these knees just gently rock from left to right. Don't need to be pushing this too far. Just go with what your body wants to do at the moment. So if you want to go really far and you want to go all the way down, go for it. If you want to just stay within mid-range, that's absolutely fine. We're just trying to promote a little bit of movement at the moment. And if you keep your lower back grounded as well, you might also feel a little bit of self-massage coming to the top of the glutes, which is also nice here. Just a little bit of input, a little bit of movement. Again, just letting our body know that we're going to be coming for it in a minute. I'm going to be asking a little bit more from it. So just letting these knees drop from left to right. Keep an eye on your breathing as you do so. Good work. Just let your left leg come all the way down to the floor. I want you to pull your right knee up towards your chest. So pull this right knee up to the chest. And again, just keep an eye on your breathing. Just try and get a little bit of work done deep in the hip here. So depending on your anatomy, you want to pull the knee all the way up straight to your chest. Or if it feels a bit more comfortable, you can also let it come out to the side. Both of those are fine. Again, just keep an eye on the breathing. Just keep pulling this knee up. And then what we can do is just start to work this knee a little bit from left to right. So I'm pulling towards my pulling towards my chest, and then I'm just working this a little bit from left to right. Just getting a little bit of hip capsule mobilization done here. So we're pulling up into the chest and then just working gently from left to right. You should feel this deep in that hip socket. And then just place the hands under the knee now, onto the back of the hamstrings, and just get this leg extending and bend in from the ground here. So I just want to touch into this end range of my hamstring and then drop back down. So just touch into end range and back down. Good work. Just feel waking up this nervous system a little bit as well. Good work done here, a few more. And last one. Cool. Let the right leg go, pull this left knee up. Left knee gets pulled towards the chest. Start with just a little bit of sustained pressure here. And then when you feel ready, just start to drop it a little bit to the left and a little bit to the right, a little bit to the left and to the right. So just working from across the chest to the armpit. Keep that pressure being pulled up. So keep pulling that knee in towards you. Just gradually start to work it a little bit left and a little bit right. Good work, a few more here. Keep it on your breathing. And then place the hands underneath, so into the back of the hamstrings, above the knee, and just start to extend and bend this side. Just be interested if one side is a little bit tighter than the other. It's no problem. We play a sport that is definitely a little bit more dominating to one side. So it's normal to have one side that is different to the other. We just need to be always trying to chase the symmetry and just accepting that it might not be perfect. We're always just trying to make things as even as we can. Good, a few more here. Perfect, okay, we're gonna roll ourselves all the way up. I'm going to come up into a seated position, and we're just going to do a little bit of work on our posture from here. So just in a seated cross-leg position, the first thing I want you to do is allow yourself to round all the way over. So let your hands roll forward and let this upper back roll over. Take one deep breath in, one deep breath out, and then straighten yourself all the way up. Nice, tall, elongated posture, tall through the head, and then hands out ahead of you. Good, let the hands fold back down to the floor. Reach and stretch. Flex the spine over as much as you can. Full deep breath in. Full deep breath out. And then come all the way back up to a straight, tall position, tall through the head, hands out ahead of you. Good work. Spin round now. We're going to grab your pad or pillow or whatever you've got to make this a little bit more comfortable. And we're going to place one knee down on this pad, and the other leg is going to come out ahead of us in a half kneeling position here, okay? So this obviously is going to be a lot more comfortable if you've got something to rest your knee on. If you don't, then just try and release as much pressure off that knee as possible. We don't want you to feel uncomfortable there. So what we're going to do is, first things first, we're going to try and get a little bit of movement in this back hip. So you can probably just see here that my right knee is a little bit behind my right hip. So I've got a little bit of extension in that right hip. And from here, I'm just going to keep myself nice and tall through this front leg, tall through my torso. And then the feeling I'm going to have is to try and tilt my hips under. So I can allow them to tilt backwards and then tilt under. And as I tilt under, the glutes are going to be squeezed, and I'm going to feel this stretch come into the front of my right thigh. So I'm just going to tilt back and tilt under. So I'm getting a little bit of activation done here, but really getting some good mobilization done on the front of this right hip. So let it go and then tuck under. Trying to keep myself nice and upright, but not coming all the way into banana back. You can rest your hands on your knee if you want, tuck under. A few more here, let it go. Tuck under, good work, last one. And tuck under, good. Take your hands up, place your hands up by the ears. So I've got my hands by my ears, elbows open. And now I'm gonna keep the tuck, I'm gonna tuck under and keep this tuck on as I now tilt my upper body. So I'm tilting this way, tilting my upper body over to the left. Trying to keep this tuck on, just keep this stretch onto this right side as I then tilt over to the left. Keep the tuck on, tilt to the left. Two more of those. Tilt, keep that tuck, last one. And tilt, good. Relax that tilt, give yourself a rest, and then bring it back on, tuck, hands back up, and then we're gonna rotate round to the left. Come back, rotate round to the left, back, two more of these, rotate, back, last one, rotate, and back, good work. Let's swap sides. Let's go left knee down. Again, use your pad if you've got one. Right leg comes forward, and the first thing we remember, we get this this left knee behind this left hip, and then we worked on tucking under this pelvis, okay? So we take it off, and then tuck under and squeeze. So glute squeeze, feeling the stretch into the front of the left thigh. Relax off, tuck under and contract. Relax off, tuck under and contract. Working in your own pace here if you want. Really trying to get this glute to squeeze, hip to pull, and feeling this stretch onto the front of the thigh. Two more here. Squeeze under, and last one. Squeeze, good. Let it go, come back in, put that squeeze back on, hands up by the ears, and then we're going to tilt over to this right hand side, keeping this tuck on the whole time. Recommit to that glute squeeze, recommit to that tuck. Just working on tilting the spine away from that left side. Two more here. And last one. Good work, let the tuck go. re-engage, recommit, hands up, and then we rotate round to the right. You guys are doing great. Just recommit to that squeeze for me on the back side and that left side. Keep the hips tucked under. Feel that stretch on the front of the left hip. 2 more for me. And last one. Good work. Take a rest from there. Come all the way down, get rid of your pad, and just drop yourself up into a deep squat position for me. So we're just gonna allow the heels to come up. Just rock these hips from left to right. Use your hands if you want to just widen your knees. Just keep breathing. When you feel ready, you can place your hands down on the floor and then slowly walk the feet in and just push your feet into the ground, lift your bum up, leaving yourself falling forward. Just slowly, 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 you can start to work your way up, vertebrae by vertebrae, all the way up into a standing position. Guys, fantastic work. Hopefully you feel better across the hips, across the torso, and across all the lower back area as well when you walk away from this session, whether it's to go and start your day, whether it's a little refresh of the day, or whether you're now winding down, ready for a good night's sleep. Fantastic work. I'll see you guys tomorrow.
There we go. Those are 2 follow-along routines. Hopefully you enjoyed that. Hopefully you feel a little bit better after going through routines. Remember, save this video so you can come back to it and repeat these. Whether you've just done one of them or done both, save it, come back, repeat these down, and you can then kind of start to feel a little bit more comfortable. Once you've done them once, it's a little bit easier coming back and doing it 7 times because you kind of know what to expect. Remember, you can also go check out the Macro Golf app. Loads more videos just like this, sat on there, ready for you to go through. And hopefully you're leaving today feeling better. And if you did, drop me a like. That really, really helps me out as a thank you for watching this video. And also subscribe to the channel, of course, because we're doing loads more videos like this. And in 2025, we're going to be releasing loads more videos on fitness, technique, performance, golf swing, everything. So make sure you're joining us on that journey. But until then, guys, see you in the next video.